Hey team, welcome to another edition of the ImDealingWith. But guess what? Again, we're all dealing with something, right? Hence the reason why we call this the ImDealingWith broadcast, in which this is for the men and then the women that love us. And one thing that I want to talk about is real quick, the topic of flying blind. And on the way here, my wife and I both, we're celebrating 25 years. 25 years. And we've gone through quite a bit of things, and most of those things, some of those are, I'm at fault for them. But God, but God. And here we are, celebrating 25 years. Even though our anniversary is actually on the 5th, we decided to do something a little bit later. You know, prices come down when it's later, right after the 4th. Flying blind. One of the things that has been very, I would say, personal even to me, is not knowing when to use the set of tools that you have in your tool belt. You know, and even when coming here to where we are, you know, we had to catch a plane and we had to fly. Yeah, we had to fly. So many of you probably already know where I'm going with this. And some of you, depending upon whether or not you sit in the aisle seat, or you sit in the middle seat, or maybe you sit by the window. And it just so happens I was in the window seat. And as we were taking off, I began to open up the window blind so I can actually see as we're going down the runway, as we're taking off, as we're going up in the air. And I know some people don't dig it, you know. Some people just don't like flying. I actually like to see where I'm going. That's just who I am. And we got to a certain area that as we were flying, leaving out of the city, that it was so clear and everything. You can see the ground, you can see everything. But then once you got to a certain level, a certain height, all of a sudden you can start seeing things start to disappear. And pretty soon, you find yourself not seeing a thing. And many of us, sometimes when we're going through the challenges of life, when we don't see what's in front of us, when we don't see what's going on, when we don't see our way out, we find ourselves flying blind. And when we're flying blind, you know, the benefit that the plane has is instruments. Yeah, plane has instruments to where even when you can't see your direction, there's a navigation area that actually tells you how high you are, how far you are, whether or not you're tilting or not, whether you're upside down or not, whether you're right side up, whether you're headed in the right direction. It also tells you if in fact you're on the right path. Wow, yeah. Yeah, I'm going there, coming down your street. And it tells you that you're on the right path. And many a times we find ourselves going through life flying blind, when in actuality there are tools, there are instruments and different things that we can use that would help us to navigate through these rough patches, that would help us go through some of the things that we go through in life, whether it's dealing with a marriage, whether it's dealing with a job situation, whether it's dealing with a relationship situation, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your finances. And we fly blind, even though there are instruments and tools at our disposal that we refuse to tap into. And the hard part about it is, as men, many times we don't want to ask. Let's just be truthful. We don't want to always ask for directions. We don't always want to ask where we're going. We don't want to ask if we're lost, if we're on the right path, especially if there's a woman present. Oh man, that's the last thing, because the last thing we want to feel is inferior in front of the woman that we're around. Maybe it's the daughter that we're around, because in their eyes they think we know it all, because we've always presented in front of their face that we know everything. And the truth of the matter is, we don't always know everything, which means we actually have to rely on asking questions. We have to rely on different things in life to help direct us. Maybe you're looking at your finances and trying to figure out why you seem to be living paycheck to paycheck, even though you have tools at your disposal, like your balance, maybe your transactions, that you can actually open up. But a lot of times we don't want to open it up. We want to know, we want to change, but we really don't want to change our spending habits. Yeah, there's transactions that'll show us exactly where our money's going. We're spending $15 here, $20 here, $40 here, $100 on a handbag, $100 here, $300 there, whatever. And then all of a sudden we're living from paycheck to paycheck. Because truthfully, a lot of times what we end up doing is we buy things that we don't need to impress people we really don't even like. Yeah, I said it. And it happens. And maybe it's not a spending habit. Maybe it's a relationship aspect. Maybe your significant other has told you how they feel about where the relationship's headed. And when you keep flying blind because here's all these instruments and tools, instead of probing and asking questions, how can I do things better? How can I make things a little bit different than they used to? How can I solidify your soul? How can I make sure that we're on the right page? How can I make you happy? How can I do some things better? Maybe it's the simple fact that you decide not to wash the dishes. I know, yeah, that's just, we think to ourselves sometimes, that's a woman's job. We do. Men do. And especially depending upon your demographic and where you come from or how you're raised. A lot of things, depending upon how you're raised, women do certain things and men do certain things. But in this brand new day and time of life, it takes two to make it. Sometimes you got to pitch in there and do those dishes. Sometimes you got to pitch in there and run the vacuum, dust, wipe down the floors, wipe down the walls. Sometimes you got to get in there and do the laundry. Yeah, I said it. Sometimes you got to get in there and wash your own drawers. That's just what that is. And maybe she's having a conversation with you, trying to figure out, maybe I want more attention from you, but you keep going out with the boys and clubbing all the time. Maybe you're going out to the golf course all the time, and she never gets any of your time. So yeah, we find ourselves flying blind, even though there are instruments in front of us to help direct us into what we're doing. Maybe it's a bunch of other different things. Maybe it's a job situation. Maybe you're just, given, half what to your job, and then you expect to be celebrated like everybody else. You want to get celebrated, you want to get recognized like everybody else, but then you don't have integrity when you go show up to your job. You don't have work ethic. You won't do things right. Oh yeah, because I work with quite a few people that they want the perks of somebody who does the job, but they don't want to do the job. They don't want to show up on time. They're always running in at the last minute every single day of the week to hit the clock. And I don't understand it. If you know good and well that traffic is getting worse on a daily basis, why would you keep on leaving at the same time? You got an instrument in front of you. Waze, Google Maps, traffic alert tells you exactly what's going on. Maybe you're wearing the wrong things to work in, and you have things in front of you. You have tools that'll actually tell you that, hey, the temperature is going to be such and such. Maybe you shouldn't wear pants today. Maybe you need to wear shorts. Maybe you need to do this, that, and the other. There are plenty of tools at our disposal, but we choose to fly blind. Why do we want to fly blind in our life? We have choices. The question I have for you today is, are you going to continue to fly blind? Or are you going to use the tools in front of you? Even in your relationship, your marriage. Oh my God, you're dealing with your children. You have a child, a son who doesn't want to come around. You have a daughter who may not want to come around. Have you taken the time to listen to why they don't come around? Have you taken the time to understand why they're who they are, why there's such a disconnect? Because anytime you decide to not do what you're supposed to and at least check in, you're going to always find yourself flying blind. Don't fly blind. Blech. Don't fly blind. Use the instruments in front of you. Take time to listen. Take time to understand. Take time to move forward. Take time to pray. Oh yeah, oh God, yes, pray. Take time to pray. Many times we do more talking than we do listening. You know, it's amazing how you can go into a conversation and some people that you begin to speak to are so busy waiting to talk that they never take time to listen. And in every facet, every aspect of our lives, we're going to need to listen. There's a time for talking and there's a time for listening. And the reason why many of us are still flying blind in our lives is because we refuse to listen, or we continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. We keep planting lemon seeds, expecting lemon trees, which is fine. But when you're planting apple seeds, don't expect lemons. When you're planting oranges, don't expect apples. When you're planting potatoes, don't expect grapes. If you want to do something if you want to see something you've never seen before, you have to do something you've never done before. And that starts by using some of the instruments and things in front of you. Prayer is a wonderful thing. God is a wonderful thing. And there's also things that are in front of you that can give you wise counsel. There are statements in front of you that you can read, that you can download, that'll tell you exactly where you are financially. Why I'm spending so much here. Why I'm doing so much of that there. Many different things. Don't choose to fly blind. Choose to use the instruments in front of you. Because if my pilot had not used the instruments in front of him, he could have easily have turned the plane on end. He could have easily flown the plane upside down. He could have easily ran into another plane in the air. He could have easily grounded that joker and we wouldn't be here today. But because he chose to use the instruments in front of him, we are where we're at today. So my question to you is, where is it you want to go in your marriage? Where is it you want to go in your finances? Where is it you want to go in your relationships? Maybe in your business, maybe on your job, maybe personally. Maybe you got an anger issue. Maybe you got a selfish issue. Where is it that you want to go? Use the instruments in front of you, because there's so many outlets that can give you the information you could need and also give you good information. But if you choose to fly blind, don't expect a different outcome. You're going to stay where you are. This is Shon from the ImDealingWith broadcast, and yep, this is a peaceful place. We're enjoying this. Planes going overhead, boats down in the dock, and I'm sitting in an infinity edge pool, enjoying my life right now because God's been good. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see you on the next edition of the I'm Dealing With broadcast. Take care.